Good morning, everyone, and welcome to all of you to our debate on what is needed for smart farming. Today's debate is hosted by our member, Franc Bogovič, who is an MEP with the EPP group from Slovenia, a member of the Committee on Regional Development, as well as a substitute in the Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development. Good morning, Franc. MEP Bogovič has always been active in promoting the potential of new technologies in the agricultural sector, and he even won the Research and Innovation Award in the 2018 edition of the MEP Awards. Welcome, Franc, and thank you very much also for taking the lead on this debate today. Today, we will be joined also by 4 experts to explore what the building blocks are for the successful smart farming in Europe and to assess with them whether this works in practice as well as in policy. A warm welcome to our speakers, Diego Canga Fano, Principal Advisor at DG AGRI at the European Commission, Sergej Krajnc, CEO at Thermodrone, which is an innovative Slovenian startup, and we will be joined also by Ben Hatton, Sales and Key Account Manager at Proagrica. And last but not least, Javier Veglison, Strategy and Business Development at Hispasat. Thank you all very much for joining us this morning. As always, after listening to our speakers, there will be an exchange of views with the audience in the Q&A session, but we will guide you there later when the time comes. So we're now ready to start, and Franc, the floor is yours.
Good morning to everybody.
I'm afraid we just had a connection issue with Franc. Let's try bring him back on stage. Franc, you're back with us. Let's try again.
There are really some technical problems today. Good morning to everybody, and thanks, Maria and your team, to organizing this, I think, very important event. All we know that world population continues to rise year after year, and the area of land available for agriculture is on decline. Actually, the area for agriculture production has decreased by 0.7% since 2013. With the United Nations projecting that there will be 9.7 billion people on Earth by 2050, the agriculture industry will need to increase its productivity by at least 70% in order to keep up with the demand. In order to this, without placing any burden on the environment and contributing to climate changes and the world freshwater supply, the solution at hand is through precision agriculture. And what is exactly, that is exactly what smart farming is all about: more with less. Precision agriculture or smart farming involves the integration of advanced technologies in existing farming architecture. Currently, there are 3 agriculture technologies that are expected to become the pillar of the precision farming industry: autonomous robots, drones, and IoT sensors-based farming solutions. IoT-based solutions and services for smart farming in order to increase the productivity quality of agriculture products and the efficiency at which products are produced. Farmers in 21st century have access to GPS, soil scanning, data managing, the Internet of Things technologies. For instance, smart farming will be able to increase the effectiveness of pesticides and fertilizers use in a selective manner. Similarly, using smart farming technologies, robots can milk cows, farmers can better monitor the needs of individual animals and adjust their nutrition correspondingly, thereby preventing diseases and enhancing herd health. Smart farming reduces the ecological footprint of farming. Smart farming can make agriculture more profitable for farmers. Smart farming also has the potential to boost consumer acceptance. it's important that the traceability and trust in products and farmers. Smart farming is important to raise attractiveness for farming among young farmers. What is needed for smart farming? Knowledge, capital, and information are essential for any innovation, but more also passion and professional skills of farmers. About knowledge. New farming technologies require more and more professional skills. A farmer today is not only a person with a passion for agriculture. He or she is also a legal expert and a part-time data analyst, economist, and accountant. Smart farming requires capital. Thankfully, there are a wide range of options available, from using low capital investments, smartphones application that track your livestock to a capital-intensive automatic command. In principle, implementing smart farming technologies can be easy upscaled. Information, connectivity, internet, broadband connections, access to data and analytics are crucial elements needed for smart farming. Passion and professional skills, more so than anything else. The farmer needs to have the passion for professional skills set in order to work the technologies being implemented. And what is here the role of CAP? In CAP, we support a lot digitalization in agriculture, knowledge transfer, support for young farmers. There are also strategies for smart villages as part of national strategic plans. Support for for small farmers is also needed, that they will not be excluded from precision farming. We also saw in COVID crisis that digital platforms can start with this platform economy through which we can connect producers and consumers. All we know, there are a lot of possibilities, and I'm very glad that here are today with us experts, which will explain us more in details. Thanks for this introduction. I wish you a successful event, and the floor is back yours, Maria.
I just wanted to thank you very much, Franz, for introducing the topic so well and for sharing very clear messages. We will now hear from Diego Fano at DG AGRI, European Commission. Over to you, Diego.
Good morning. Good morning. I hope you can hear me well. And first of all, thank you to European Internet Forum for this invitation. And I'm glad to talk after MEP Bogovič, because I think what I'm going to say complements well what he just said before. So how can we, the European Union, turn ambitions in smart farming into a reality? And to harvest the potential of digitalization in agriculture, we need to create an environment enabling farmers, including small ones, a point mentioned by the MEP, to take up and make effective use of digital technologies. And many factors such as an enabling environment, including access to broadband, very important, and other digital and data infrastructure, tailored investment support, tailored advisory services, a functioning agriculture knowledge and innovation systems, tailored research and innovation actions, creation of trust in data sharing, and facilitating the access to public data. It's important to highlight that the effectiveness of digital technologies depends very much on data as one of key ingredients, and data has a value, and the application of data technologies can capitalize data sets for businesses and societal purposes. Now, to boost digital transformation, data sharing, and the application of data technology in the European Union, a strategic agenda, including regulatory and investment instrument, has been developed by the European Commission. As part of this agenda, one concrete element of particular relevance for this conference today is the creation of a common European agricultural data space. Moreover, tailored research and innovation in digital and data technologies are crucial to drive the digital transformation of the agricultural sector. And here, startups and SMEs, as well as scientific community, are key to bringing digital solutions to the market. Let me just make a brief comment on what is happening now in the market, and then I will refer to what might happen in the future. So let me tell you what's happening now. Today, EU-funded actions boosting innovation in digitalization in agriculture are already making an impact. Let me mention two projects funded on the Research and Innovation Program Horizon 2020. I invite you to follow the results of Smart Agri Hubs and the large-scale pilot project Internet of Food and Farm. The overall budget of those two projects, with multiple partners from the European Union and beyond, are 20 and 30 million euros respectively. These projects foster digitalization along the agri-food value chain under consideration of the business reality. Moreover, under the European Innovation Partnership for Agricultural Productivity and Sustainability, so EIP, there are more than 1,700 operational groups, which are developing innovative solutions. Now, around 10% of those, so 170, are already doing today precision farming and other digital approaches in their projects. Now, following a comprehensive approach towards digitalization, most member states have joined forces by signing a digital declaration, smart and sustainable digital future for European agriculture and rural areas to build capacities to develop, establish and deploy digital and data technology and infrastructure. Now, if we talk a bit about the future now, the post-2020 period, MEP Bogovič already mentioned a little bit. Let me elaborate a little bit more. So concerning common agricultural policy, so now, you know, our President von der Leyen said a couple of months ago, 40% of rural areas still do not have broadband, so that should be a high priority. And so for CAP, digitalization and its enabling potential will be a cross-cutting objective, definitely. And rural development funds will support both investments in the broadband in rural areas and improvement of the digital competences of the rural population. This is essential to unlock the potential of digitalization. So rural funds from the Common Agricultural Policy will support investment and innovative projects on technological developments and digitalization. So the future CAP will further increase the focus on digital solutions as a means to increase the ambition in order to meet the targets of the Green Deal, definitely. And focal points relevant in the context of digitalization will include, so increase the productivity and competitiveness of the sector. Second, making agriculture and rural areas more environmental sustainable and reducing the impact on climate change. And thirdly, we want to attract investments in the emerging sectors of precision farming, bioeconomy, low carbon sector, and artificial intelligence, drones, and other making use of innovation. Now, we also have to, I want to mention the Tailored Advisory Service of Agriculture Knowledge and Innovation System, AKIS, it's called in jargon. And concerning the future Horizon Europe, so the follow-up of Horizon 2020, a portfolio of instruments will be available in the field of digitalization and data technologies in agriculture. I want to draw your attention in particular to the candidate partnership, Agriculture of Data, proposed by the Commission. That partnership is to use the potential Earth observation in combination with data technologies such as artificial intelligence offered for the sector and policies. Let me conclude, and the third message I want to put, making a reference to the Digital Europe program. So in the field of agri-food, so digital innovation hubs, testing and experimentation facilities, as well as a common European agricultural data space, all that will be supported by the new Digital Europe program, and there will be digital innovation hubs in the agri-food. And again, you can count in the Commission to boost this very important sector. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Diego. Very interesting, and you've mentioned different initiatives of the European Commission to unleash the innovation potential of the digitalization in the agricultural sector. I would like now to bring in Sergej Krajnc, the CEO of Thermodrone, which is an innovative Slovenian startup in this field, and he will tell us more about this company. Over to you, Sergej.
Thank you, Maria. Hello, everyone. Welcome. At first, let me take the opportunity and to give a huge thanks to the European Internet Forum for inviting us to participate in this event. And to tell you a little bit more about our work in practice. Just give me a second. I have to share a screen because I have one short presentation prepared. I hope that you can see it now. So, hello once again. My name is Sergej Krajnc. I'm a co-owner of the very young Slovenian company called Thermodrone, where we integrate, implement, and provide services from the field of precision farming in practice. So, let me just briefly explain what the precision farming is. Our speakers before already described this more in details. The concept of the precision farming is actually the concept of management of farms with the focus on optimization of resources, for an example, seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides, with the goal to increase yields, decrease environmental impacts, and improve and maintain healthy environment. So, in general, the precision farming is not just the high-tech technologies, new technologies that are available. It is also the way of working, is the working ethics that needs to be implemented in practice as well. So in general, the concept propagates resource efficiency, and as a result, it also improves the socio-economic status of farmers and also the market competitiveness. If we take for an example the precision farming that uses modern technologies, it's readily. The technologies are readily available, and most of the precision farming is based on the smart machinery and so on. So basically, there is a need for a smart machinery infrastructure. For an example, smart planters, seeders, sprayers, and fertilizer spreaders that the farmers need to own. This machinery also needs additional smart terminals that are the terminals that send the instructions to the machinery, what needs to be done or where needs to be done. It's actually the interface that is the communication interface on which also the tasks are imported and integrated and by farmers or external service providers. Of course, the precision farming practices are nothing without the external infrastructure that tells the machinery its position, so that that the application of resources can be done on specific places in specific amounts. And here, of course, is one example of not so smart machinery. It's actually basic machinery that it also can be used to some extent to implement the precision farming practices. Maybe a little bit more about that in further debate. So how do we do this in practice? How do we implement the precision farming in practice? With new age Earth observation technologies, I have in my mind especially drones and satellites, we are able to get the general picture of the crop from the different perspective, which tells us some differences. Based on these differences, and of course, including also the other data sources, we then prepare the target application maps together with farmers, and these maps are then imported into and integrated into their machineries for seamless use and automated executions of the tasks. For an example, for automated fertilization or spraying of pesticides and so on. Of course, we are not relying just on the Earth observation data. There is the area of agriculture is much more complex, so we need additional data sources and additional verifications as well. We have a multidisciplinary and multi-actor approach. For an example, we combine all the different data inputs that we have available. For an example, we are performing precision target soil samplings and soil analysis, so that we can get a better picture of what are the actual needs in each specific area of the field. Based on that, we prepare the target fertilization maps for fertilizations, so that the farmers really use the amount of fertilizers as needed. Then we combine this with the harvest yield maps that are produced by harvesting machines. Of course, we are also performing soil structure management measurements with electrical conductivity measurements. With this, we can get a better picture about the soil structure, and we can perform future acts accordingly. And of course, there are involved different nitrogen tests and other tests to get a better, clearer picture of entire crop. So basically, our mission and our aim is to integrate all these complex technologies, because the technologies provide really complex data structures and so on that are hard to read for farmers. And our aim is to gather these technologies under one umbrella and provide them to farmers, so that they are easy to understand and they can operate and get the maximum amount of the efficiency out of the available technologies. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Sergej. It was very interesting to better understand actually the various solutions that you can provide for precision farming, and to understand also the complexity of the data that you need for them. Let's now hear from Ben Hatton with Proagrica, which is part of the RELX group. Ben, over to you.
Thank you, Maria, and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be talking to you today, and we really welcome the opportunity. Okay, so what is needed for smart farming? This is a question that is going to be answered, but not easily. And it's going to be answered depending on where you're standing or who you're talking to in the agricultural supply chain. The immediate assumption is that this is related to the farmer or the grower and what happens directly on the farm. And whilst this is true, in the same way that a crop does not grow without the right amount of rain or sun at the right times, the farm does not stand alone in the agricultural supply chain. So whilst we acknowledge the farm and smart farming refers directly to the farm, we also accept that the farmer does not stand alone in the ag supply chain and is part of this system. And as well as paying attention to their day-to-day operations on the farm, the farmer also needs to be aware of items up and downstream of them. There are also dependencies by the farmer, both up and down the agricultural supply chain. As well as this, they have to be aware of what's happening on the farm at a particular moment or through the season. If you search the internet or speak to experts in the agriculture industry, you will find a number of different answers to the question of what is needed for smart farming. From sensors and machinery to drones and satellites, water management, environmental and food security, improvements in seed variety, soil nutrition and management, considered applications of crop protection, use of smarter technologies and machines. The list goes on, and all of it is correct and relates directly to the enablement of the smart farm. We do find that across these various different elements, there is one constant, and that relates to the topic of data. Agricultural 4.0, the next green revolution, and the smart farm is driven by data. The creation of data is a result of the smart farm, and it is what underlies a lot of what is needed for the smart farm to be successful. It is also not something that can be viewed in isolation, either on the farm or in the agricultural supply chain. It creates one of the biggest challenges in any smart farming operation, as well as one of the biggest opportunities. In addition to the ability to share data to drive a smart farm, there are a few other elements that are required to ensure its success: trust and cooperation. Over the last 5 years, tremendous progress has been made in the depth and the breadth of data that's being generated. We have an abundance of new sensors in the market, more flexible software solutions, and vast improvements in APIs that allow the transfer of data between these systems. But we still have not made much progress in the basic analysis of this data, much less bringing the power of artificial intelligence to bear. So why is that? Agriculture has created data islands, and lots of them. These islands not only exist between industry participants, but even within a single organization. Data from precise or precision ag solutions are stored in one place. They're disconnected from sales data, which is in turn disconnected from customer relationship management systems. There is incomplete data. One system, for example, can have the yield information, another the planting data, and a third holds the soil fertility data. Bringing these data sets together is a tremendous challenge in all of itself. But once we do get the data together, we find that in most cases, it is quite often dirty. Dirty data, and much of it, needs extensive cleaning before it is used for other data sets to be put against. Because customers value flexible systems, most solution providers have met that need by allowing users to input data in very flexible ways. The result of this is that the nomenclature differs from user to user. And then we end up with heterogeneous data. There are a lot of different types, and we're not just talking about quantitative and qualitative, but different in genres and formats, such as spatial and temporal. In our industry, here is what these data islands look like. It's not pretty, and the situation's only going to get worse. However, we've made great strides in connecting these systems via APIs, but there is no single source of truth. Therefore, the data is replicated across the many systems that an agronomist and a farmer jointly use. This leads to mismatched and incomplete systems. So in summary, what is needed for smart farming? Well, there's great excitement in the industry, but there still are plenty of issues and challenges. It's not all bad though, Great progress has been made towards standardization and accessibility, and this is increasing and improving all the time. And lastly, the future of smart farming is exciting and the potential is huge. The amount of data that's being gathered, analysed and applied, and in some cases shared, is increasing. And this is exciting times to be in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben, for presenting the various challenges of the use of data in smart farming. And I would like now to bring in Javier Veglison, Strategy and Business Development at Hispasat. Javier, also connectivity has been mentioned before as one of the key factors for smart farming. Over to you.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. So I would like to speak today and provide a perspective of connectivity, which I believe is essential for the digitalization of the sector. There is no digitalization if there is no connectivity. So taking a look on the status of broadband deployment and having a focus on Spain, we see there has been a heavy investment in the deployment of fiber, where we have very good connectivity in urban areas, but the reality is that there is still the challenge to connect the rural world. In Spain, for example, there are over 1 million households that do not have access to a 30 megabit connection. So that is when we talk about the population, people. If we talk about territory, and that is the image on the right, the situation is worse. We see many areas in Spain that do not have access to a 100 megabit per second connectivity. So the good news is that the digital agenda is considering that the population, all the population, will have access to a connectivity of 100 megabit per second by 2025. So getting into Europe and the agriculture sector, I believe that Diego has very well explained the situation. The European Commission has established the Farm to Fork strategy in which the digitalization of the sector is. So this strategy says that all farmers and rural areas need to be connected to a fast and reliable internet. So in order to do that, a possible solution is mentioned, and that is satellite. So why satellite can be the solution to connect the agriculture sector? So first of all, and most important, because it provides a global coverage. So any location within its footprint, as it is in the sky, is connected, and it ensures that 100% of the population and the territory is covered. So it's eco-friendly. There is no impact on nature associated with installation. It's fast and easy to deploy. It's as simple as installing a VSAT, something that takes 1-2 hours, and you already have internet connectivity. And last but not least, is competitive with other technologies, both in terms of price and capabilities. So getting in more detail into the Hispasat solutions, Hispasat, that is a satellite operator, satellite communication operator, counts on a portfolio of different solutions for the agriculture sector. So I have divided them in two main types. So the first is the IoT, is the broadband connectivity. So you can see in this image, there are, for example, employees working in the field that they connect via their smartphones to a Wi-Fi hotspot that is connected via satellite to transmit information. The other use case is IoT connectivity. In this case, sensors are deployed on the field, and they send the information via cable or via wireless to a data logger that concentrates information and send it via satellite for further analysis. So last, I would like to mention some use cases that we have deployed both in Europe and Latam. So the first is with Floret. Floret is a very popular lettuce manufacturer in Spain. So in this case, we install a Wi-Fi connectivity, the same as I have just explained, to provide the Floret employees with connectivity. We did that in a farm in Elche, in the southwest of Spain, southeast of Spain. So in this case, employees could send data on crop management from their tablets and smartphones. So another use case is with Digitanimal. So in this case, we provide connectivity to a farm in Avila in Spain. So this works with the Digitanimal solution consists of some sensors that are installed, as you can see in the necks of the animals, and they send information via wireless about its location and health reports to a hub that concentrates this information and sends it via satellite for analysis. So last, another use case is with agrolinares. In this case, we provide satellite connectivity via Wi-Fi to a cacao tree plantation in Colombia. So in this case, on top of the internet connectivity, more services such as weather sensors, security cameras, or daily reports on the evolution of the crop are included, as well as, of course, having internet access to employees. So this provides a taste of some solutions that are deployed with satellite. For more information, there is a new SOA paper on the relevance of satellite for agriculture that I invite you to visit at the SOA website. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much, Maria, and I give you the floor.